Tonight, more children will be using the internet for schooling this year, why some parents are concerned about online safety. Plus, just 30 minutes after the first day of school ended, ESCO parents received a troubling email about a possible COVID-19 case. And why a local 8th grader decided distance learning would fit her situation the best.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Vaki. Thanks for joining us. Many Minnesota students head back to class in some fashion today. After being given the option, a Hibbing 8th grader is choosing to stay home and distance learn in order to keep her guardians safe. 13-year-old Olivia Salila lives with her great aunt and grandma. Both are in their 70s and have health issues. The two women became her guardians after Olivia's mother passed away last year after fighting an opioid addiction. Olivia hopes choosing to stay at home will help prevent them from being exposed to COVID-19.
And I do not want anything to happen to my grandma and my aunt. And as much as I'd love to go to school, I love them more.
Olivia's first day of school is tomorrow. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz left the decision on in-person or distance learning up to individual school districts. However, he did require that all students have the option to learn from home if they want to. With children being online more than ever during distance learning, some parents are concerned about their kids' safety. Living in a digital world where hackers and predators have accessibility to a user's information, it's important for the youngest internet users to know what to look out for in order to protect themselves. CBS3's John Cardinelli heard from an IT consultant on what you and your kids need to know.
With children, teens, and young adults now learning from home, experts say that hackers are trying to capitalize on vulnerable targets. However, there are things to do to make sure you stay safe. According to Travis Elm, an IT consultant at DiscoverPC.net in Superior, the #1 danger faced while distance learning is being vulnerable to privacy invasion. He says if your student is using a school device, you should ask what protections they have in place in order to keep your child's identity safe. He adds that if you are using a personal device, many modern operating devices have parental controls where you can filter and monitor the kind of websites your children have access to. As of right now, Elm says most of these viruses from hackers are coming from clickbait surrounding the coronavirus, unemployment, and distance learning. He says now more than ever, it's important to check your sources when it comes to clickbait.
If you see something, you may want to look at what it is and go to the news site directly and find it instead of just, seeing it on Facebook, seeing it in like Google News. See if it's a legitimate thing instead of just clicking on it, because you could be going down a rabbit hole and finding yourself with an infected device.
Elm says if your computer is operating slow or search engines randomly change, you may be infected with malware and should get the computer checked out as soon as possible. And coming up tonight at 10, we bring you more tips on how to stay safe during this time, and we also hear from the Duluth Police Department and their tips on how to keep your kids safe from internet predators.
All right, thanks, John. During digital learning, bagged meals are available for students in the Duluth School District. That includes breakfast and lunch on weekdays. Students can pick them up, or their parents or guardians can stop by, and they'll be asked to give the student's name, school, and student ID number. Families who do not qualify for free or reduced price lunch will be charged on their child's school lunch account. We have a full list of pickup times and locations on our website. Minnesota's governor greeted students and educators this morning to welcome the community back to school. Governor Tim Walz, a classroom teacher for more than 20 years, visited an elementary school in Wyoming, Minnesota as part of a statewide safe learning tour. State leaders want to thank educators, students, and parents for their flexibility during the COVID-19 pandemic. Over the next few weeks, Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan will visit schools across the state, including here in Duluth. Walz and Flanagan also will greet students virtually for those schools doing online learning.
Our goal was to craft a policy based on the best science, to craft a policy based on the best educational model, and to craft a policy hand in hand with local elected officials and their parents to make sure that communities were invested in what we're doing with their children.
The Departments of Education and Health will continue to work with school districts and local health professionals throughout the school year. They'll track the virus and determine if or when a school may need to adjust its learning plan. The Esco School District is warning of a positive COVID-19 case on the very first day of school. Esco parents tell us they got that message just a half hour after school let out this afternoon. In the email sent to us by Esco parents, the school district said the person with the positive test was inside Esco High School today. They did not name the person or say if they are a student or staff member. They also didn't share when the person was tested. School leaders say anyone who had close contact with the individual will get an email from their local health department. They'll also be excused from school for 14 days, along with the person who tested positive. We've reached out to the Esco School District, but did not hear back by news time. Dave's here now for a look at the weather. Dave, kind of a chilly start for those kids heading to the bus stop for the first time this school year.
Indeed, Kristen, and that after the start of Labor Day weekend that was toasty and glorious.
Yeah.
Then the temperatures tumbled, and this is what folks woke up to this morning in the Ely area. Scraping season has begun. Frost on the car and the windshield, and the rest of us follow suit tomorrow morning. We are looking at freeze warnings and frost advisories over all parts of our area, except for the Upper Peninsula. So that high pressure cell coming in is going to chill us all down, but a low pressure system trying to bubble up from the southwest at the same time will try to create showers for Wisconsin and for Michigan, while it stays on the dry side here in Minnesota. And that battle could lead to a clear sky for many places this morning, but then clouds increase by lunchtime, partly sunny, and maybe starting to clear again tomorrow night, but not overly warm, only 55 for the high temp. But after a couple of days of chilly temperatures, next week we could go back to the 70s, and I'll show it in the 7-day forecast in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Dave. In Superior, an investigation is underway after what police are calling a deadly industrial accident at a business. It happened just after 9 o'clock this morning at a business in the South End. Police say the person died while working with a piece of heavy equipment. Few other details are available, including the business where it happened and the name of the victim. An investigation is underway. The deck is getting ready to host President Donald Trump's son during his visit to Duluth tomorrow. Donald Trump Jr. is expected to hold a campaign rally in one of the ballrooms. This is a photo provided to us of the event's setup. You can see the chairs are spaced 6 feet apart. The deck's interim executive director, Roger Reinert, says only 250 people will be allowed in the space. That includes campaign staff, speakers, and the media. Reinert says they'll be taking people's temperatures and masks will be required. He added this is not the biggest event the deck has held since the start of the pandemic. We'll have full coverage of Trump Jr.'s visit to Duluth tomorrow on the CBS3 News at 5, 6, and 10, as well as online. Calls of "not one more" and "justice for Jackie" rang out in front of the Carleton County Courthouse this afternoon. The Gitchigumi Scouts held a march and rally with friends and family of Jackie Defoe. She was murdered back in March along with her young son and unborn child. The man charged with the crime, Sheldon Thompson, has a long criminal history, but advocates say he's only received a slap on the wrist in the past, and this time they want the Carleton County attorney to know justice must be served.
We just need all the attention and all eyes on Carleton County right now so that they're very aware that it's more than just a hashtag and it's more than just a court case. It's serious, and we're here demanding justice.
Jackie's death has caused renewed focus on the movement to end the violence against Native women in the community. A Black Democratic legislator will lead a new Wisconsin task force on racial disparities and police policies. State Assembly Speaker Robin Vos appointed Representative Sheila Stubbs to co-chair the task force. She'll work alongside Republican Majority Leader Jim Steinecke, who is white. Stubbs has been an outspoken critic of Republican legislators' work on racial disparities and police brutality. Last week, she blasted the GOP for not taking any action during a special session on use of force policies. Governor Tony Evers called the session after a white police officer shot Jacob Blake, who is black, in the back in Kenosha last month. St. Louis County property owners could be paying less on their taxes next year. During a meeting this morning, the county board gave its preliminary approval for the 2021 maximum property tax levy. At nearly $148 million, county spokespeople say it's technically about a 1.5% increase compared to this year's levy. But the county's property tax base has increased by 5%, meaning the total levy amount is divided among more people. Under this proposal, someone who owns a $200,000 home would pay about $45 less on the county portion of their property taxes next year. County board members will set the maximum levy amount later this month. They'll decide the final budget in December. There will be a couple public meetings before then for anyone with questions. We have more details on our website. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, millions of dollars are headed to the Twin Ports. Stay tuned to find out how they will be used.
Cooler weather is already here. Today's high of 52 is well below the normal of 68. A couple more days with temperatures like this before we return to normal and beyond in about 7 days or so. So it'll be a long wait perhaps, but worth waiting for on the other hand. Well, we'll show you both hands here of this card game coming up after our break.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Got a tough job to tackle? New Holland has a full line of tractors to make sure you're ready to meet any challenge. From compact tractors and attachments to tractors ready to work on the farm, New Holland has the products and know-how to make sure you get the job done right the first time. With over 100 years of experience providing tractors for the home, farm, and everything in between, we have the solution to meet your demands. New Holland.
Serves you better than Lulich Implement.
In the race for a vaccine, the finish line is approaching. Safety protocols in place. And the greatest economy the world has ever seen coming back to life. But Joe Biden wants to change that.
I would shut it down.
Why would we ever let Biden kill countless American businesses, jobs, and our economic future when President Trump's great American comeback is now underway?
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Here at locally owned Adolphson Real Estate, we are ready to help you find the home of your dreams with no extra fees. Take a look at this craftsman-style two-story home on a large private lot in Carlton. Please call our Duluth office for more details. Call us today to schedule a tour at Adolphson Real Estate.
Coronavirus work injuries. Call Stockman Law Office. Return to work issues. Payment of medical bills and lost wages. Call anytime. 218-576-8599. No recovery, no fee. Please stay safe and healthy. Stockman Law Office. Serious injuries, serious law.
Today, we help people. We help them shine bright. Walk with confidence. Help them play like the kid they are. Even plan for a healthy future. Outpatient surgery excellence. Lake Walk Surgery Center.
Hi, I'm Steve Little with Bath Planet, your simple and affordable choice for bathtubs, showers, surrounds, and safety tubs. Right now, we are offering 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2022, or get your dream bathroom for as little as $69 a month. This offer ends September 30th, so call us today or go online to book your appointment to take advantage of this amazing offer. Bath Planet. Out of this world service and down to earth price.
See your candle and it shines in the night.
From a quiet family farm in Cook to a small recording studio in Babbitt, how a well-known Iron Range musician hopes his latest inspiration will inspire you too.
This album, really kind of reaching down to from some of my past stuff and stories that I wanted to tell through music.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, Labor Day, like I mentioned, the weekend started off on a warm note. Both Saturday and even Sunday on the toasty side, low 70s for a lot of towns. And then the cooler air started to creep in yesterday. And now tonight it's going to culminate in a deep freeze for much of the area. Freeze warning for inland Minnesota by tomorrow morning. Frost advisory for most of the rest of us here, except for the Upper Peninsula. Low temps will fall in the 30s. It'll be a hard hit on gardens. Hopefully you've got either your crops in or you got sheets to go out here tonight and hopefully push the problem off a little bit. You know, come Thursday morning, it may be just about as nippy, but after that, we start a steady increase in temperatures, and by this time next week, we could be back into the low 70s. Ah, that sounds pretty good. Current conditions right now, maybe not as good. 51 degrees for the current temp at the airport, 52% for the relative humidity with a westerly-northwesterly wind only going 3 miles per hour, so at least we don't have to worry about a wind chill factor tonight. Air pressure's at 1,027 millibars on the higher side as a battle goes on from higher pressure to the north and lower pressure from the south, you know, each trying to figure out which one's going to win out over our area. We'll talk more about that in just a bit, but right now we have 47s for the current temps in the Upper Peninsula, and it's 46 to 51 in northern Wisconsin. Solon Springs is the cool spot, Superior the warm spot, 54 Moose Lake, upper 40s up most of the North Shore, upper 40s as well for the Mesabi and Vermilion ranges, and low 50s near the Canadian border. Low temps tonight, yeah, pretty close to 30 degrees inland. That's why the freeze warning's going on, and low 30s, 32 to 35. For the rest of our region, that's why we have the frost advisory. And do keep in mind, it may hit us again come Thursday morning before the warm-up slowly comes around on Friday. Coming around right now, we've got higher pressure from the north trying to clear the sky as it cools us down. But from the southwest, clouds are blowing into our region, trying to keep the temperatures up at least a little bit and also deliver a little bit of light rain. So it'll be a back-and-forth seesaw battle here as the two pressure systems get closer to our region. I think especially in Minnesota, the higher, colder conditions are going to take hold and hold on for probably Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but then the low-pressure system that's in Colorado right now, that's the one that brought a foot of snow to a lot of mountain towns in that neck of the woods. I think it'll have spent its snow by the time it gets here on Saturday, but when it gets here Saturday, our clouds will go up, and we will get a 70% chance for rain, maybe even a soaking rain, which is a good thing since drought-like conditions are still clinging to parts of our area. Tonight in Minnesota, low temps are going to be brisk. 30 inland, maybe 40 right by the lake, clear and cool in between. Wisconsin and Michigan, your low temps will be in the mid-30s, so partly cloudy and cool. Now tomorrow, 30% chance for showers from that low-pressure system for Wisconsin and the UP, highs only in the 50s. Minnesota high temps will be in the 50s as well with a partly sunny sky, which should give way to a partly cloudy sky, perhaps by Friday or so. And then our next rain chance is Saturday. But take a look at the 7-day forecast trend here. We go from 55 to 65 to 69 degrees. And finally, by next Tuesday, 73 returns. Maybe not for long, but at least for a while.
Sounds good. Thanks, Dave. Millions of dollars are headed to the Twin Ports. Today we learned the EPA awarded $14 million toward funding research in our region, all focused around the Great Lakes. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with members of the EPA and Congress about how more money means more opportunities in the Twin Ports.
Thank you all for joining us today.
Continuing to restore the Great Lakes was the topic of conversation Tuesday morning with environmental leaders and legislators.
Today we're announcing nearly $14 million in funding that will go to further benefit not only the St. Louis River AOC, but the entire Great Lakes ecosystem.
This funding comes after legislators created the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative 5-year plan. The projects and research within the initiative are all meant to help clean and restore the lakes. About $5 million of that funding will go to the Lake Superior Research Institution at UW Superior.
Ballast water research so that we can try to eliminate the introduction and movement of invasive species throughout the Great Lakes, which are having a deleterious effect.
EPA and UW Superior officials say they hope to give undergrad students these hands-on opportunities as the projects and research continue.
It is works like this that makes our campus and this region truly superior.
Because what you're doing is you're training the next generation of talent that can come in and do these environmental protection projects having had real hands-on experience.
Members of Congress add these research projects will help legislators make more informed decisions in Washington, D.C.
And when they do that, we as legislators want to take that information that the scientists give us so we can put forth good legislation that is meaningful, impactful, and measurable.
The Great Lakes Restoration Initiative was started back in 2010. For more information on the latest projects this money will help fund, you can head to our website. Coming up in sports, high school football may not be happening locally, but the state of Michigan was back to practice today. Kelly Hinseth has the details after the break.
Von Duluth Casino is hiring. Apply today.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
All of us at Super One Foods would like to say thank you. Thank you for shopping with us here each and every day and making it a joy to come to work. You've allowed us to give back to the local communities we serve for the past 40 years. Each year, we raise and donate hundreds of thousands of dollars in support to local charities and food shelves, youth organizations, and various athletic events. From all of us at Super One Foods, thank you. We're proud to serve you locally every day with low prices and better choices.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It just gives you such a boost of confidence.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something on the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing? Or
it absolutely could be a daily thing. But the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions. You have events you want to go to. You want to look years younger. This is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
The chief actuary of the Social Security Administration just released an analysis of Trump's planned cuts to Social Security. Under Trump's plan, Social Security would become permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. If Trump gets his way, Social Security benefits will run out in just 3 years from now. Don't let it happen. Joe Biden will protect Social Security.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3. Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinseth.
After besting a Detroit Tigers squad that gave the Twins all the grief this time last week, Minnesota moved on to St. Louis to face a Cardinals team that they swept back in July at the beginning of the season. Twins making a visit to Busch Stadium for the first time this year, facing a Cardinals team just below 500. Bottom of the second, let's start things off a defensive note. In right field, Jake Cave absolutely robs Yadier Molina of a base hit with that killer catch. That is dedication and keeps it scoreless in the second. Top of the third, we go to 1-2 pitch with 2 on base. Josh Donaldson, a.k.a. the bringer of rain, carries this one to left field and away for the 3-run shot. Blame it on the rain. It's 3-0 Twins. Donaldson's first homer since returning from the injured list. The Bombas squad, that is, would continue. Not picture a homer by Nelson Cruz and then followed by a homer by Miguel Sano. Not a bad day at all for Twins bats at all. Jose Barrios goes 5 innings with 8 strikeouts, and Twins win game 1 of this doubleheader 7-2-3. Game 2 of the doubleheader ensues down in St. Louis at last check. Twins lead 2-0 in the top of the third. Well, just about an hour before the news broke, Giannis Antetokounmpo had arrived for Game 5, was shooting around with the team, but that wasn't any sort of positive omen for the Bucks as it turned out. The Athletic reported that Giannis was officially ruled out at about 4:30 p.m. with a right ankle sprain after going down this weekend. Not to go all worst-case scenario on Bucks fans, but this is pretty much it. Milwaukee trails the Miami Heat 3-1 in the best-of-7 series in the second round of the NBA playoffs. It's win or go home for Milwaukee. That Game 5 is happening right now. The Bucks currently up on the Heat 30-19 in the second quarter. That is without the Greek Freak. We'll have highlights coming up tonight at 10. And high school football is not going to be back at the local level here in Minnesota and in parts of Wisconsin, but as decided last week, it will be in the state of Michigan. Today, about 25 minutes east of Ironwood, the Gogovic Miners football team began their first official day of practice for the upcoming football season. Upon arrival, players and the coaching staff must each answer a questionnaire, get their temperature check, and mask up before hitting the field. We'll have much more from Michigan coming up tonight at 10. And as crazy as it may seem, we are officially within the start of the NFL season in the week. We're just 2 nights away from the season opener between the Chiefs and the Texans. There will be fans at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City on Thursday, but on a limited basis. Today, there was another update on fans at NFL games this year. The state of Ohio will now allow some fans at their NFL games. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine granted a crowd variance to the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. 1,500 fans will be permitted on either side of their stadiums. Masks will be required at the stadiums, which are both outdoor venues. Both the Vikings and the Packers have already stated that they will not be allowing fans for at least their first 2 home games of the season. Hey, fans, no fans, I'm just happy to see football back on the screen. That's going to do it for sports. Well, more back tonight at 10. Kristen, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, a tale of 2 iron ranges. After back and forths between some mayors and union representatives, we're sitting down with the United Steelworkers to hear how local mines are faring and what the outlook is for the rest of 2020. More on that in tonight's Eye on Mining. Let's get a final check of the weather, Dave. Still chilly out there.
And it will be chilly again tomorrow, perhaps even Thursday morning. Tonight, almost everybody except folks in the UP covered by either a freeze warning or a frost advisory because we'll fall into the 30s for our low temps. And then Wednesday itself will only rise up to about 55 degrees. The normal is 68. Folks in Wisconsin and Michigan might get some rain showers, but then it should clear and dry a little bit and warm up too for Thursday and for Friday. Saturday's our next rain chance, 70% shot. And by next Tuesday, back to the 70s.
All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10.